All right, greetings from Los Angeles, the ESPN offices, and I am out here for a couple days of TV. Busy, busy, busy. We've got plenty of content on ESPN.com. We have the extension article came out today, historic class. You can go read about that. We've got the free agency guide that is being in the process of being updated. We got spending tiers. We got the free agents I would pay. We got J.J. Redick hired in Los Angeles. We did a full hour of TV. We've got a trade with drawing a blank. Josh Giddey going to Chicago and Alex Caruso going to Oklahoma City. We've got Pascal Siakam agreed. We've got plenty of content to talk about. We're putting up graphics showing kind of how rosters are impacted, cap impacted. We can thank my 18-year-old for we've gone away from the whiteboard, and now we've actually somewhat professional here. So with a hat tip to a graduating senior in high school. So let's talk a little bit Giddey to Chicago, and then Caruso to Oklahoma City here. You know, when the trade came through, I'm just grabbing my phone. That I got a text from two different general managers. The one question from both was what picks were involved. What draft picks was Oklahoma City sending Chicago? It turned out to be none. This is a clean trade. This is a straight swap, one-for-one type trade here. And I think that's probably what catches me a little bit off guard. I like Josh Giddey as a player. I think he will do well in Chicago. I think certainly when we saw it in the playoffs here, kind of didn't fit in. Oklahoma City's got two guys that need the ball in their hands, and I think Giddey will go to Chicago, and I think he'll be their primary playmaker here. You'll probably have Kobe White play off the ball. We'll see what happens with Zach LaVine. We're going to talk about Chicago in a minute here. But I did think that, considering that Oklahoma City is sitting on a bountiful, could you try to squeeze them, even if it was a Denver first in 2029 or something else just for that one-for-one swap there? So that's probably my critique, I guess, regarding that. When you look at it from a contract standpoint, we're still in the 23-24 cap year, so it doesn't turn over until July 1. Caruso had 9.46 in this year. The contract's basically over, so there's no additional money. Oklahoma City does not pay him for this year. It will end come June 30. So 9.46 there, 9.46 this year, and then 9.9. That's the number to keep an eye on. There was $3 million guaranteed, part of the deal. It will get guaranteed to make the deal work. He's on an expiring contract. He can be extended 6 months from, let's say if the deal happened today, 6 months from now, so you're looking at close to Christmas time, for 4 years, $79 million. He is extension eligible. He can also extend at a limited number here. And this is a rule that's being changed for this year. You can extend for 120% off your number or the average player salary number, and you can extend for a total of 4 years, including what's left on your contract. So Caruso technically could extend for 3 years, and I don't have the number. Let's say 40 and change, for example, here. For Chicago going their way, Giddey is entering the last year of his contract. For next year, it's $8.3 million, so there is a little bit of savings there. When you look at it, he is extension eligible up until October 21st. There are no restrictions. He can be extended up for 5 years, $225. I don't think he's going to get $225. How I look at it from Oklahoma City's perspective, I think it's a huge win when you get an all-defense, and I have my notes from our offseason guide here. 2 years in a row, all-defense, a terrific contract. I know you're going to probably have to pay him to keep him, and I think that's certainly the understanding of where Oklahoma City is. I'm looking at my note, top wing defender in the league, all defense, two years in a row, finished first in deflections, sixth in steals, 15th in total charges taken. Chicago was outscored 7.2 points per 100 with him off the floor. Eligible to sign a 4-year, $78.8 million extension 6 months from now. Oklahoma City still has $31.5 million in cap space. They still have the 12th pick in the draft. Their priorities this offseason certainly is what direction you go with room. Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, both guys got team options. You can certainly decline those options and give them new deals, or you can actually exercise their options and extend off their numbers and have that cap hit in 25, 26. I think it from Caruso and Giddey's standpoint financially, also the ability to keep Alex Caruso at a 4-year, $78 million contract, or maybe even less, is going to be less expensive than what Josh Giddey was going to be. So that's my take on it from Oklahoma City's perspective. I really like it when you have Shea, Caruso, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. It's a quality starting five, and then you still have Cason Wallace, you've got Isaiah Joe, you've got Aaron Wiggins, you've got Osman Jang, you've got Kenrick Williams, you've got Jalen Williams. And we'll see what happens. What they do with cap space. Also here, I'm just grabbing my Thunder notes here so we can talk about them and Mr. Giddey. For Chicago, now listen, there's more to come. This is not the first and only move that's going to happen in Chicago here. Arturas Karnisovas has gone on the record. He said the roster wasn't good enough. Now, did I think Alex Caruso was going to be the first guy traded out as far as how things were going to change? I didn't, considering that he's been the most constant and probably one of their better players, consistent players. So I didn't think it was going to be him. So that's the first move that happens. Giddey comes in. I'm pulling up his notes from when he was, when he was in Oklahoma City. Listen, third straight year, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Became the 4th player in Oklahoma City history with double-digit triple-doubles. 3-year body of work. We saw in the Dallas series, he was basically targeted. Dallas shot 60% from the field when Giddey was the primary defender. So defensively, offensively, 21% in that series. Gafford and Lively, 8.4 feet of separation. So Giddey to Chicago works if you basically build your offense around him. If he is your primary ball handler and he's got the ball in his hand, and I guess you're shifting Kobe White, and we'll see what happens with Levine and DeRozan, then I understand it here. But as I said, I am concerned that there wasn't more draft equity here. I am more concerned that the cost to keep Giddey is going to be more expensive than Caruso. And we'll see what else Chicago has in store. They've got the 11th pick in next week's draft. They need some major, major front court help. Basically, Nikola Vucevic is the only front court player they have on their roster. You've got Patrick Williams, a restricted free agent, if they tender him a qualifying offer. Andre Drummond's a free agent. We'll see what happens with DeRozan. When you include the Patrick Williams qualifying offer, they've got $146 million in salary. You count that towards that because the player can sign it. They're basically $25 million under the tax, not including DeRozan. So we'll keep an eye on what happens there. Is there a move to get off Levine's contract? We're going to hear a lot about him. He's owed $3 for $137. Maybe you break that up into 2 players. But I do think it's just the start of things in Chicago. I understand it, why the Bulls did it. I thought, as I said, and teams agreed with me that maybe you can get a little bit more. I really like it for Oklahoma City, considering that you did not have to give up a draft pick. I think he fits your window, your financial window, certainly. As far as where he is salary-wise, certainly one of the best wing defenders in the NBA. We will talk soon.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. How they wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on ESPN.